Bittersweet morning. Bittersweet morning, my friends, because RIP the NBA 2 gamers. Now that I've become a hoops guy, I'm actually kind of sad this morning. I'm kind of sad that these two-part NBA slates are going to be gone. I'm excited to see what they do with the finals. I imagine we get some one gamers, but pour one out there. But we're going to have plenty of stuff to draft today because we still got Poodle, we still got the BBM, and then we are going to bridge the gap to the dailies because you NBA sickos are still going to be hanging out. We just need you to come on over to these sweet, sweet, warm, lucrative MLB streets, equally as fun. And what better way to introduce you to that than to tell you that the heat check man himself, Chip, takes down a playoff contest the other day in the NBA streets. And then he just goes, hey, no NBA tonight? No big deal. Walks into our MLB streets and mops the floor with us. I mean, unbelievable stuff for the brigade. I don't know, boys. He might be a dual threat now. He might be a dual threat. I always thought he was a hoops guy, but man, might be a dual threat. But a couple other Badge Brigade shout outs last night. Mike Zakarian taking down the NBA stuff. Big John was right there up there with him. Jewish McCaffrey. Just great to see the brigade doing work and still having success.
It was a big night. It was a big night for the Discord, no doubt. It was a little bittersweet because, we kind of gave the formula for MLB, these five mans, they're ripping and tearing. And then Lil Chipsy comes out of his NBA hole, cues up some Padres, and just completely takes all my money. So shout out.
Wow, I didn't realize it was this easy.
Yeah, he's like, wow, they're not lying.
Yeah. Nobody told me it was just like this easy. Pick the guys against the Phillies bullpen game, put them all in one lineup and get it done with the best pitcher on the slate.
Hey, it was against Mackenzie Gore. He made a stand.
Oh, right. My bad. Yeah. It wasn't the Phillies bull. Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm. Still, that's a success story that everybody should be clapping for and be your reason to get in these streets.
Man, last night you pour another one out for our dance teams because I think any of the teams that we had left were Celtics Lakers.
Oh yeah. No, I've been dead. I've been blocked out. There's just no shot for me. And I'm hearing whispers of like these insane Nuggets Heat super teams and pods that I haven't seen. And it's, I knew from the jump that it was over for me. I wish, oh my gosh, if there's any time where I want a time machine, it's after these playoff best ball tournaments advance to the finals. That will always have me wishing for a little hindsight, a little extra knowledge.
Doubt. Yo, what's good, Neumy? Kind of quiet, my friend. What's good?
Oh, we're just, we're hanging. It's a great day. It's a day before Thursday, which means, load up on golf. I don't know about you. You guys are pouring one out. I'm loving it. Golf pools are beefed up. Long gone are the
long
days.
Dog, yes, the long dog contest.
We know,
yeah.
Mr. Swinging dick
John,
over here.
John can screw up on some word, on just anything coming out of that intro 5 times. I just come out here with a long dong and immediately it's like, whoa.
Hey, what?
Just flopping it on the table here.
Yeah, no. I enjoy the ability now that these prize pools for golf are going to be beefed up, and I'm gonna continue to talk about it all the time. This is going to become a part 1/3 golf show here.
1/3.
1/3. Nez slowly gives me the time of day and just goes, okay, if I just, if I give a guy a message, I'll shut him up for the night and he won't have to give me with golf data. So he'll give me with like a hard eyes and a prayer when I give him like rankings or something. But
no, it's helpful. It's helpful. Yeah. I appreciate it. It's more info than I would normally have. And hey, I got how many teams? 10. 12 Albatross returns teams, so I got some major sweats going. I killed my advance rates, and you were a big part of that.
I jinxed it.
I don't know if you guys could kill advance rates as hard as I did.
Well,
that's
100%. I could because I drafted it. So
100% where I come from.
The thing is, I can because I drafted it. So no.
Nimmy's waiting for his Venmo.
No, yeah.
over my dead body.
No, but that was fun. I jinxed my albatross a little bit. It went down, but I'm excited. It's still going to be quite a good advance rate, I believe. But yeah, no, I always said be that big fish in a small pond, and right now everyone's kind of out of NBA. I haven't seen them kind of come over to PGA, MLB streets.
Hold on.
We lost you
every time.
Yeah, but but so you were saying you haven't seen them in the PGA streets, but they are.
It's my golf buffer button.
Exactly. It's like,
I
shut up.
Send the lag.
Yeah,
send the lag.
But no, it's the same thing I would employ basically on DFS sites, DK FanDuel, where I would just be like, I'm going to try and find these contests where it's weaker opponents. Not saying that it's weaker in golf, but the names that we see of Freezer, T-Box, they're not readily, at least not now yet, in there constantly, along with these other sharps that we see in the hoop streets. Not going to go off and name them. You all know who they are.
This is the Charles Schwab tournament?
Yeah, and then we don't have to get into.
Are there name brands in here? Because I know the last tournament there was nobody that I knew. There's
some names, and I understand it's to the offset, but this is where last year I kind of made my money, made it in the MLB and golf summer. And so it's just for me, it's a really fun time. I was going to say the same thing that John kind of let off with. I'm interested to see what they do for the single game for NBA, because last year I won a $25. It was like, basically, I think it was the 90 entry, or something like that, $50 dunk they basically had. It was what they had for the MLB double entry, basically. It was that style contest, and they ran it. I think those are much more it's a lot
conducive to the single game.
There you go. Because having just smaller fields, and I know you can get in the higher price point, you're unlikely to get these teams and people come in here, I would think, and be like, oh, the collusion type thing. Yes, it's definitely happened, but I like those smaller because you never really saw it in the larger price point, smaller field. You never really saw these insane teams that you would see in these maximum fields. So I'm excited to see if they maybe kind of tinker around with that, drop some of those and how they do that. Because I think they're gonna have some type of contest out there. They're just not gonna have anything for the finals. So
yeah, it's just interesting because we haven't seen single game ones yet. So it'll be interesting to see what they end up doing. And I think they're holding back till the finals, till they iron out, you know, that kind of mindset. Are we going to just get Heat Nuggets finals, boys?
Here's the thing. Why on sports betting websites the Heat are like only minus like 280 to win the series, and the Celtics are only like plus 230 to win the series, being down 3-0, and ESPN is sticking to their analytics guns saying that the Celtics are going to win the series? That's a whole nother topic, but everything points to like everybody kind of like being cautiously optimistic about the Heat. And I feel like I'm taking crazy pills because the team that it's not like, dude, the Celtics looked awful. They looked awful. The Heat looked really good in every series that they played so far. Like, I don't know if I'm about to get rug pulled, but like, man, it just seems like the Heat had this in the bag. And now I'm like, need to like take a step back and be like, okay, like, why is everything why is everybody pretending like the Celtics have a legitimate shot?
I think it's because if it wasn't an 8 seed in the Heat and they weren't basically who are they losing to in the Chicago? They were Chicago and someone else in the play-in down at half. Like they almost didn't even make the playoffs. I totally I agree with you. Like it's just like I think the Heat are, but I think that's why it's books and everyone is still cautiously optimistic because of the circumstances that were just a month ago and what the Heat, like it's the fairy tale of all fairy tales. Now you hear Butler, we're some dogs, we're some boys. We love playing with each other. Like when you have a group of guys like us that believe, and apparently they take it to a new, because they get the max out of players that you normally wouldn't expect to get. But I think that's main reason for why the lens is through that. A lot of people and sports books maybe are leading that way. It's just because Boston being in the finals last year, they're basically finals like favorites coming out of the East like right away. And then it's either, who's it going to be? Boston, Philly, or the Bucks. Well, now it's just Boston like they just beat Philly. Like I'm not saying I think they're going to come back, but like if there's any team left and there's any team to be playing, it's the 8 seed Miami Heat that barely made it into the playoffs. And it's the Boston Celtics that could obviously find that group. Like the Jaylen Brown, don't let us get one. I find interesting. Like, okay, Jaylen, like, don't let you get two.
Well, I mean, it's just what every team ever in the history of sports has said in these situations.
You have to dig and find something when you're in that hole. But yeah.
Okay, let's we got breaking news here. Oaks hanging out in the chat here. Hoops is done for the year. So that bridges the gap right now for us to get these good people that are putting in the volume in the hoop streets. We got to incentivize them to come over to these MLB streets because honestly, MLB's way more fun. But I mean, just in terms of like a game and the way it's played and the way you can draft, that's my 2 cents. So I think once we show the people the way, then we can go with it. So just interesting there. I think the Celtics played very different last night comparatively to how they played early in the series, obviously going smaller with White starting instead of Time Lord, and then actually shooting threes. Like that's what they did all year long, was just find open threes. They were moving the ball around, stuff like that. That hasn't been their identity through the start of this series. The start of this series set up so poorly for them where they were like, hey, we got to win the glass against Bam, and we just got to run everything through Tatum. I think now they're kind of realizing, man, we can just beat them when we get hot shooting, and we haven't got hot shooting, and we haven't been shooting. So, yeah, I think just going small might have found something for them. Go home for one, blah, blah, blah. Last night's winner, Mike, had a very, very funny clip on his YouTube channel that he then tweeted where he put on a Boston accent and basically just gave the speech that Neumy just gave, but in this Bostonian fake accent about like how they're going to like talk themselves into coming back. It's very good if you guys haven't seen it.
Yeah, his stuff is hilarious, man. He's really funny.
Yeah, it's good to see him having success on this site as well as with his content stuff. What do you guys say we do? As I say that, now it's kind of like, should we just do MLB like right now and then hop in the Poodle because it's an easier transition?
Yeah,
do it.
Okay,
yeah, I'm into it.
Okay, cool. Daily Diamond is now closed? ? Already filled for the morning?
It might have like 5 minutes left at most.
Nope.
Okay.
Gone. See ya.
Okay, cool. So it'll be the main slate. It's an 8-gamer. This is going to be like the TLDR. We have done a show that is like, if you want to go into the nitty gritty on the Underdog Fantasy HQ channel, in the link below, you will find our how to win dailies. We kind of go through 45 minutes of talk and then walk through the basic steps. This will be the TLDR for those of you who are coming from the hoop streets that want to jump into here. Where do we always start, boys?
Check the weather. What's the forecast looking like?
Always, baby. Always.
Could you imagine if, like, on the hoop street, it's like, well, how high are the hoops at this court? And is it going to rain? How much room do they have to run out of bounds at Boston?
Oh, man. I imagine that being like a Mario Super Slugger when you'd play single player and you'd go to different stadiums and they would have different effects. You'd go there.
Well,
it's like,
this court baseball is too, Neumy. You don't have to use a video game. That also happens in real life. Okay,
I'm just more talking about the Mario, like a red shell, a bullet coming at you. But, sure.
Put your intern nerd ass glasses on again.
Good weather. Spoiler alert, it's beautiful.
Yeah, spoiler alert, good weather day today. Always some thought process into fading certain weather spots if they are. It introduces a little bit of leverage. If there's a little bit of rain in the forecast, you can get certain players at a discount, get certain players that wouldn't otherwise be available. Good hitting conditions, bad pitching conditions, that sort of thing. And then Coors Field. It is always going to be, it's the Ford Field of the MLB. There are always going to be points scored there. There are always going to be runs. There's going to be. That's what we are kind of always looking on. And these slates become a lot of fun when it's basically Coors versus everything else. And today's Coors is the Marlins and the Rockies. Next thing we go to check out some team totals. Same sort of thing as NBA. Check out some team totals. Check out some game totals. Check out the pitching, and then take a quick look at ADP. And then we just go ahead and hop in. So process
for the hoops
similar.
guys. For the hoops guys, by the way, if the Ford Field reference isn't really hitting for you, just consider like Coors Field like playing the Hornets, and both teams are like playing the Hornets, and
it's
Pacers.
Yeah,
it's Pacers versus Kings. Entire pace up spot. No fucking defense. We're playing 122 to 122. It's got a team total of 248 out here.
Oh, this is making me miss the hoop slates. Let's we got
too soon. Too soon, boys.
But then what I will say to that is there's also a lot of in context to this slate, there would also be a lot of high total games available other than just that Pacers Kings game on this MLB slate. It's not just the holy grail sometimes that Coors is, and especially with it being two bad teams. I might even go as far as say like it's Pacers Hornets, where these are just two bad teams, but the park factor makes it very it makes it just tip top, but there's other teams nudging up top, nudging up close with high team totals. So
absolutely well put, Neumy. We are going to go ahead, click these 8 games, go ahead, click on the live tab. Last night was very interesting because we had a slate with a lot of good pitching on paper, and a lot of good pitching didn't come to fruition last night. It was just kind of the K's floor was there. And that's actually something a little more in depth I want to ask you guys about. Are we thinking about starting pitcher a little bit wrong on these sites these days? Should we just be going like, hey, K's innings, all that matters, quality starts and wins are outside of our control, and we buy the floor of high K rate guys and figure the rest out?
I don't know.
Is the scoring 1-for-1 daily, and isn't there isn't something a little more boosted in the best ball scoring for pitching, or is it 1-for-1?
Yeah. No, it's not 1-for-1. I'm talking no.
Yeah, because in dailies, my approach is high K pitcher and less quality.
Yeah, that's what
win. And in best ball, my approach was still obviously get the K upside, but I would try and tack on quality start and wins just because that's what's basically available. But yeah, in dailies, I'm all for the K upside. I mean, we saw it yesterday with Spencer Strider.
That's why I'm asking. Right? Strider had a bad start, and he still puts up 15 points when he doesn't get the win because of the K floor. That's why I'm asking. That's why it was top of mind.
I think that's more of like a Spencer Strider thing than a dailies thing personally. I think it all depends on like the other pitchers that are on the slate. In this main slate, Sandy Alcantara is the highest pitcher off the board, and he's pitching at Coors Field. That is how poor the pitching slate is today. So you really are just like taking, the less of whatever evil is left and trying not to take whoever team that you just stacked offensively, because everybody's going to be waiting for the most part for the last round to take their pitcher. I think you can probably boost up like Bryce Miller. He's like the one that I think is like egregiously mispriced, but everybody else, man, you can just like kind of wait and just take whoever you want at the end based on ADP and based on these hitter matchups that we have to take advantage of. So this is definitely a wait on pitcher slate. But yesterday I was heavy on Strider. It was because of the K floor,
which is
for sure.
Which is interesting because that's opposite of how we led the show yesterday when you said you thought you were going to be underweight pitchers in the first inning.
I definitely stuck to the guns with Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole, I was way underweight on, but I kept getting a lot of like Jordan, and he just completely just effed me yesterday. But like I warned about Garrett Cole yesterday, and Cedric Mullins, lo and behold, leadoff homer, bam. It's just bread and butter, dude. It's what Garrett Cole does. So
throw hard, hit hard.
Yep.
Especially in Yankee Stadium to the short porch to a lefty. But I digress. I think I want to talk just like macro, like full bullets. Maybe we went a little too far in the weeds there. Stacking hitters, never stack against your own pitcher, and 4-man stacks, 3-man stacks, 5-man stacks. They've all shown a propensity to win this season, pairing with some elite high-end ADP and then finding kind of like a contrarian path to first place. Because the biggest difference between the hoop stuff and baseball is more like football, where things are binary outcomes, right? It's a hit or it's not a hit. It's 0 or 1. It's a home run. It's not a home run. It's 14 points or 0. So just thinking through these patterns is completely different than in hoops, where we just upload a bunch of ranks. These are the highest projected guys, median projections, and they'll probably push ceiling some percentage of the time and push floor some percent of the time, but they'll always hover with some form of points. The best hitters in baseball put up zeros multiple times a week out here. So just finding exposures and different paths to first place is the name of this game, more so like football than it is like hoops. Anything else macro you guys want to add to that before we just look at some ADP and talk about these teams?
No, I think the contrarian lever in these contests is probably the most valuable one to lean on for sure. I think with the 5-mans, part of what makes the 5-man stack so successful is not that like you are capitalizing on the theory of stacking and the correlation you get. It's more so giving yourself paths to uniqueness and low-owned players that it's far harder to take 5 random players than like stack, and then you end up getting like Bryce Terang or something like in the early, like the way that you get to these low-owned guys, it's easier doing it with 5-man stacks. So that's really like why those 5-man stacks are so successful. So if you want to play around with that, you can. But yeah, for the hoops guys looking to get an easy path to first, just whoever we maybe are not talking about a lot, or if you don't see them drafted a lot in your lobbies, like onslaught that team. Just
exactly what Chip did last night with the San Diego stuff. He took out Fernando Tatis, who was their best player, put him to the side, and drafted everybody else on San Diego with 5 of them, and found himself with a contrarian path to first place. Very smart and sharply done, and just shows you how, transferable the knowledge is of just playing dailies. It doesn't have to be sport specific once you just know these small caveats, right?
Yeah, a lot of game theory for sure.
Wait, didn't Chip win with Fernando?
Oh, what? He was in there? I thought he wasn't in there.
Yeah, he was in there.
Oh, he was? Then who was the differentiator? Trent Grisham.
Correct. Right. Yeah.
Okay. So
Grisham,
and your most hated person on planet Earth, Drake Cronenworth.
Yeah, I drafted him last night. I got a couple. I had the exact same team as that, but instead of Soto, I had the 2 Angels guys.
One thing that I like to do, and if you have the ability to do it in either way, it's just you can take either whatever projection system you want. You can take home run odds if you want, but just put them on an Excel sheet and then import the ADP. You can get a quick glance immediately at over-owned, basically, and I guess what I like to do is find under-owned, and it's just people that have the same odds as the one up there that are being drafted every draft, and people that are be sparingly worked in or overlooked, like and that can go as far as stars on lower stack teams that are being overlooked, or guys in the middle of the lineup for a Padre that maybe are overlooked or anything like that. I think that's a quick glance just to see, like, because again, these players are going to be drafted over and over and over again, unless you get in the lobbies with the guys that are 5 stacking. It's just getting down and out of your comfort zone where it's like you're left with Yordan Alvarez or Kyle Tucker, and you're going to finish off your stack. It's like, do I do that and continue building something that's chalky, or do I pull that lever of getting unique? And all of a sudden I have a guy that's barely drafted. It's like, oh, well, will he do anything? It's like, well, he has the same odds and the same projection. What does that even care for, or what does it even matter in MLB as someone else? So that's why I would be like, I'm going to give me the guy that's not drafted at all. That's the leverage you need to pull. So I think it's really important in MLB especially.
Yep, love it. The Coors Field game, Miami has a very high implied run total at the top, but Coors-like, their opponent is down here because of the Sandy Alcantara factor. I think Mariners obviously are going to look really good again. because they're going against that putrid Oakland A's team. Any stacks, names of teams you guys like greater than the field that you want to say to look and or feel smart before we look at ADP?
Nez?
No, nothing like that I feel too strongly about contrarian wise.
Okay.
I think as far as I think what's really going to be good leverage is trying to find like a low owned pitcher potentially, because I think there's going to be a lot of landmines today. And I kind of like Tyler Wells against the Yankees. Oddly, I know Judge. I'm always going to like Judge, but I like Tyler. Like Tyler Wells is like really intriguing me as a pitcher. Like he has a really nice four seam. The Yankees outside of Judge don't scare me at all. So I think that that's somebody that like if I'm left in like the 606, like I might be taking a little bit of Tyler Wells. So that's like my contrarian. Offensively, like I'm kind of with the field right now. I haven't found any paths yet to uniqueness just yet.
I think my favorite path to uniqueness is power righties against Nestor Cortez, and that would be Baltimore bats for anyone that's unaware. Basically, a quick Nestor last year allowing 49% fly balls to righties. That is up to a 59% fly balls to righties this year with a 205 ISO for righties. So give me some righty bats against Baltimore to mix in there at ADPs. I think that we're all above.
Sounds
30.
like you're telling me a little Ryan Mountcastle, Austin Hayes leading off. Little two-man there. I'm feeling that.
Yeah,
one.
even Adley.
I don't love Adley from the right side.
I know you don't. I don't
love. I don't.
It's a daily thing. I try not thinking. For me, I try and not overcomplicate my process and start getting into guy on the right side. Maybe I should. Maybe it's like a daily. You should like in a season long. You shouldn't care about that. In a daily, this is when you have the chance to actually hone in. Maybe that's I'm not. But for me, it's like. I definitely think he's viable, although I haven't looked into the splits. So unless you tell me these splits are like just Ozzy Albies give up switch hitting type thing,
they're not that bad,
okay.
And there's obviously small sample because he hasn't been around that long.
Yep, but yeah, for me it's just as a quick little thing off glance, I do think the Baltimore bats are an intriguing option.
Cool. Yeah. Two things here. Garrett asking what Underdog's going to do for NBA Finals. It sounds like it is just going to be pick'ems. They are going to do away with the 1 game slates, so no more daily drafting there. I imagine they'll have the cash game lobbies though, so we'll be able to do something like that. Maybe we'll do some 3-mans between us, just to have a little fun, have a little sweat there, but sounds like the big contests are done for the year, my friend. What am I doing here? I'm literally just trying to fix this window.
Man of many hats over there. Producer, fixing the screen, trying to keep the conversation going. Got to give John his applause. He's trying out there. He's trying out there.
It's easy when you're this full of shit to keep talking,
Yeah.
Okay, so as you alluded to, Sandy Alcantara pitching in Coors, which is never favorable, but he is also still Sandy Alcantara. He is not the same Sandy Alcantara as last year, but top pitcher off the slate. Are you guys touching it? Are you guys mixing it in? Are you guys fading it?
I'll mix it in.
What are you doing?
I'll mix it in if it's there in the 6th.
Oh, literally, it's got to fall that far.
It has to.
Okay, sure. Okay, so you're fully late round pitcher today. Yeah, what about you?
100%.
For me, it's tough because we're not playing salary base where we get the option of looking at someone that's going to be low owned and we're going to get over the field on a pitcher of Sandy's caliber. Here, we've seen that he's going top 10 in ADP. So for me, I agree with Nez. I have the just initial reaction to kind of fade that and only get him at value, which I think my value would start maybe around that 3-4 turn, maybe push it to the 4th and after. That's just initial. I haven't done any yet. So it could change and it could fall further.
Cool. Spencer Strider's K floor is so high that he's still being drafted today for some reason. That's awesome.
Unreal, man. Unreal. That's why you got to pile in these streets with the people drafting Spencer.
Shout out those green check marks though. Those when they're not a little mix up at times, but they've been almost 100% accurate, and they've been really helpful to kind of be like, okay, there's 2 guys from the same team. Take the guy with the green check mark.
Yeah. And when lineup slot gets confirmed, like we will bounce back and forth between like projected lineups and stuff like that. You got to be following that Underdog MLB. They will tweet out the lineups. And then as soon as the lineups pop up there, you'll then have a confirmed lineup and they will update in the app here, kind of right where you guys see my cursor. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like right there will be a little white box that pops up that says B2, B1. Acuna's case, it'll say B1. Just be mindful of the fact that on Wednesdays, weird shit happens sometimes. It's a kind of a scheduled rest day for certain teams, less so in the evening than the day games, but just something to be mindful of. Any sticks, contrarian sticks or stacks that you guys want to hit on before we jump into draft or hit on as we jump into draft here?
Let's just jump in and hit on them, huh?
Sure. Hit the refresh there because I still got the daily one.
Yeah. Mariners will be really, really popular. Oh, we got the big fly back. Let's go. I'd love to lose my money there again.
Hey, I will say everything filled except the cycle getting to I think less than 100 people like to basically fill out. I don't know the percentage. So I mean, I think that would have filled if they didn't release the squeeze. Oh, the squeeze also didn't fill up, but they released those.
Yeah, the second main contest.
And they kind of fought against each other. But the main one filled, and the big five filled. And then the nighttime always fills those slates. So yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, the days and the nights always fill because there's nothing else to draft, basically, right? Like those two seem to be like the ones that always fill for sure. And then we got a badged up room here. We got 6 badges coming at us. This will be fun. Yeah, gentlemen, what are you liking today?
Well, last night, I think first off, everybody's going to be gravitating towards the Mariners because they got a lefty versus Waldichuk. So everybody wants all the Mariners with all their righties. However, Ty France almost certainly broke his hand last night. So he's not playing today. No, he got hit by a Trevor May, one of the May brothers, fastball right to the to like the pinky, like right here.
He's playing for Oakland now.
He didn't even run they took him out. They wouldn't even let him run the bases. So that's definitely broke. So he's not playing. It's not confirmed yet, but the little Nez nugget for you is Ty France is not in the lineup today.
Yeah. You guys like Judge here comparative to the field?
Yeah, first draft.
Yeah,
Judge.
I mean, Walls is just looking at him like anyone. The fly ball rate for me is something that I like to look at for pitchers, and it's just like what they're giving up. And he has, I mean, his fly ball rate isn't anything where it's like, whoa, stay away. So, he's been nice, and it's funny how that great matchup comes against the Pirates. But you just see that 20. Oh, okay, he was playing the Pirates, but
yeah. No, he's a decent pitcher, man. The Orioles, they have a lot of names that aren't brand names, but they tend to get good results from whoever they have.
Yeah, let me see here.
Like it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Fly ball rate so far this year, and it doesn't change at all for righties and lefties. It's 49%, 52%. So when half of them are fly balls, it's not ideal for a team of the Yankees in Yankee Stadium. So,
whoa.
Yeah, oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, does he have 11 ADP? Is that actually right?
I guess. Caballero didn't play yesterday because he is a 26-year-old rookie who's a platoon player who just happened to get hot for a day or two. I like Soler and trying to build out a little Coors Miami thing here. Who do you guys
I don't know who the hell this Kaufman dude is on the mound, but I'll take Jorge Soler at Coors Field against him all day.
Homered last night. Yeah.
Now you're going to get at me because I'm not checking his total starts or what this sample size is, but it's not great for this Kaufman fellow. It's not looking ideal.
You don't say.
Yeah. I guess the fly ball rate, it's looking all right. Everything else, the numbers don't look good. So, and Jorge Soler, I mean, you want to talk about just ultimate power, especially in Coors. Give me that. What are we thinking here?
Senga.
You want to take a picture?
Yeah. Compared to what's left, comparative to what's left, I know it's not the best match out of the bunch, but comparative to what's left and just like the ceiling of his ability, he's coming around. I like Senga a lot tonight.
I think it's a good pitching weather today in Chicago too, for what it's worth.
Oh, good, nice.
The Dodgers being like the fact that Freddie Freeman hasn't gone off the board yet, I think is like a leak in today's slate. They're playing.
Good point.
They're playing Bryce Elder. He's had good results. Like I'll give him that, but
yep,
I'll take the Dodgers over Bryce Elder.
You are correct. 18 mile-an-hour winds coming from the northeast into Wrigley. Negative 69%. Nice. Home run factor. So
except that goes away when Morel is at the plate. The winds just die when
100%. It's like a
there's no one
like,
on
when
planet
the measure's
Earth.
not perfect, and then the gusts go down for that 10 seconds, and they just cream a shot. It's like the wind just died. It's like that's exactly
what the hell just happened?
Yeah, it's like, hey, they're going out for this one. They're flying out for you, Christopher.
Who's he looking for? Arise.
I think he leads off today.
Yeah,
I don't think they go back to the I don't think they go back to the John Burry. If he doesn't, he hits second or third. So
yeah,
I kind of like it.
Yeah, can't be mad about stacking against Kaufman at Coors. That's always going to be an acceptable play. Bobby Witt, I think, is also an interesting play today, going up against Matthew Boyd. Boyd is like a fine pitcher in his own right, but Bobby seems to really have a lot more success this year, especially versus left-handed pitching. So definitely something to keep in mind if you want to do like a Witt, Salvi, Perez type of stacking, or little Nick Prado. Yeah, Garrett Cooper.
Salvi's ADP is quite high as of right now. This is the chalk ass get your elite hitter at the top and build out Coors Field build that is probably going to be duped 1,000 times, but I'm trying my best out here.
That's one thing to think about, right? I mean, it's tough. It's like, you only have a limited number of bullets. You don't want to completely fade a good matchup, but you also, I've been thinking a lot more. I'm like, the draft format is so tough because it's such like a mental game you have to play with yourself. Like you have to actively not pick the best player sitting at the top of your queue to do what you know is the correct way to play DFS, which is to get unique.
And that's what these guys, like the guys 5-man stacking, 4-man stacking, whether they do it. And I think I applaud them. It's like they're doing the typical get out of your comfort zone, leave the guys, the best hitters in a daily sample. Not all best hitters are going to hit a home run and go out. Like it's just simply not it. So, and I just found this chip that's hilarious. I did not even know that. I came in dead last in the big fly, just strict dead
first to last, baby.
Yeah, put up 16 points.
Oh, you'd love to see it.
Oh, that's great. 2 players put up a goose egg, and Rafi Devers and Yoshida. And when you have 40% of them total, that's not going to lead to a good night for you. Griffin Canning was not a can.
Oh, God.
Man, we need a little something from Ohtani, and I think I would have got home in the big one there. I had a lot of those days where Trout plus Ohtani is cheap, and then you can pair it with Coors. I did it a bunch, and then I did it a bunch with like Bogarts plus Cronenworth too.
God, this season so far is just like I want it to make sense just like one time, please.
What are you guys thinking for the last pick here? Do you want like some form of one-off, or do you want to go back to the Miami go up 4+1? I think Miami. 4+. Yeah, I think 4+1 probably makes the most sense given what we're working with. I'm seeing Nick Fort's potentially playing first base today. I'm not seeing Birdie get drafted. Garrett Hampson revenge game.
I like Segura too. Any of these guys are fine.
Okay.
Just to lean into it, I don't think I'm definitely not going to be looking to take Fortes today. So, there's some alpha.
There's that there's that leverage that you only ever get to because you're building a 4-man where you just passed up on all those good hitters to take Fortes instead.
Yeah, if you take a one-off Fortes and it hits, like, I'm mad at you. Salute.
Just, looking at this, it's very interesting where you look for lineups is like Roto Grinders doesn't have Fortes in right now. I do.
Well.
So it's very interesting. It's very interesting.
And I think that's where you can get leverage in itself, because what do you lose if you draft Fortes and all you have to do is just swap them in from another, if any guy, like, I guess you lose the ability to manual swap it and get that. You're just going to have a globe. But I mean, for me, it's like something like that. You just gain leverage because, I don't know, not that he'll go up much, but how many people are going to be drafting him with the uncertainty? And then when he does get ruled in, like, how many people are still going to go draft him itself? So I don't know.
Love it. Yeah, it's so true. I mean, that's the age-old question of like baseball versus any other daily sport, right? How much do you win when that outlier guy hits for you, right? All right. Let's Poodle 2's time.
Poodle 2 time.
Let's do it. Kind of fun. We talked a little bit with.
Did we all get in?
I'm in.
I don't know.
Okay.
Let's see. Neumy, Nez.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go.
Well, keep us posted on the overflow.
I just want to let you guys know I have done 50 drafts. I have zero. No, not the Poodle. Like total.
Okay.
Like of the puppy and then the first Poodle and then some BBMs. Like I'm at 50 total drafts. Like, and that's with slow. So I'm not done with 50. Sorry. I'm like done with like 30 something of a bunch of slow. 0 Justin Jefferson. Haven't got the 101 one.
Love to see it.
It's just like whatever, man.
What?
Whatever, man. Haven't got it once. Don't even know what Justin. Yeah. At this point, Justin Jefferson's dead to me. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God, man. That's unheard of.
Yeah, everyone's like, Neumy, it's a 20 max, you idiot. It's like, okay.
Emotional hedge. Austin Eckler. That's kind of fun.
How about it?
Good one to start with there. I wanted to pose a question to you gentlemen with that Austin Eckler thing, is because we hit on it on Friday. We're like, hey man, if Austin Eckler signs in the next like week or whatever, his ADP is going to look pretty fucking down. But how far can he go, kind of thing. Austin Eckler versus Bijan. Who you like?
Eckler.
Probably Eckler.
Crazy, man.
But
so now
I never
we know
draft Austin Eckler, so I'm just not going to draft him once again. Even though now the contract year and the incentives is all for it, I'm just like, oh gosh, he's just going to do Austin Eckler things. But like,
new offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I just offensive line comes back healthy. Slater's healthy. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I have nothing. It's just a bias.
Now.
It's just strictly a bias for Austin Eckler that he's the one running back that I've continually I just haven't drafted him in home leagues leading up to that. Then best ball and all this is so it's just a bias that I have. But yeah, if I would probably take Eckler over Bijan, and I've been taking Bijan, so it's interesting.
Dude, the thing that makes Eckler and I talked about it in the boardroom with hers. We do have Kid Cudi in here. The thing that makes Eckler so appealing to me is Herbert's ADP and pairing him with Herbert, pairing him with the receivers as well. That to me just feels like so easy to do. And we know who Herbert is as a quarterback, and that I really like the knowing, like, having a plan in my drafts, and there's no easier plan than Eckler and his teammates.
Right. Yeah, no, yeah, that's fair. Just because of Herbert's undervalued price tag right now, in quotations. I wanted to set up that CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra at the corner. Devontae Adams kind of falling this far is nice because I have him a bit higher than this grouping. I think in a vacuum, boys, I think I like Saquon more than Jonathan Taylor this year. But I am going
17.
I'm going to opt for that week 17 correlation of a nice chalky start. There's 2 chalky starts at the very end of this board that just materialize over and over again. And I think it's the JT plus Adams one, and then it's the Amon-Ra plus CeeDee Lamb one.
Yeah, I had a lot of JT and Adam before the schedule even like came out. So all of a sudden I just kind of got it.
Fell into that.
You fell into it. And so I'm happy that I did that in the time box contest of the puppy and the first Poodle kind of deal. Poodle already had his dad. So just mainly the puppy I'm talking about because I had a lot of combos there. So that's fun to see that because all those were just pre-schedule release. So it was just in this nonsense.
Yeah. I got another question for you guys that stems from the Austin Eckler one. I'm thinking about it. I got a couple names in mind. I'm thinking about it in terms of now we see Austin Eckler go from like ADP 15, call it, like where he was readily available at the start of the second round. And now he's going to be available. He's going to only be available past like pick 8, pick 9, maybe he falls a bit further in certain rooms, like before ADP catches up, but his ADP probably settles in somewhere between 5 and 9, right?
Yes.
Okay. So who is, instead of chasing that, maybe it's not as applicable right now talking about a time box contest like this, where we know it's going to fill in a couple days and it doesn't matter what the ADP is there, but thinking BBM and knowing that, hey, maybe some of those constructions exist, where he fell to like 18, 19, something like that. Who is the next player who could have a great benefit? Because I don't want to chase that Austin Eckler. I don't want to chase those teams right now. I want to chase who's the next guy who's going to get that big bump. And it doesn't have to come from the first couple rounds, but who is that next player who ADP hasn't caught up to that we're going to go, a week, a month, something happens and go, holy fuck, we should have been on that.
I mean, I think a pretty easy answer would be Saquon Barkley. I think
he's the cover boy for a reason, Nez. You're picking it up.
Yeah. He for sure like stands out as somebody that, once we get like that contract like signed and he's like full, and then we can start to imagine him in our mind's eye being a huge part of the offense once again. 100% he will get a bump. Outside of that, I think like Breece Hall and Javonte are the next in line to get big bumps with news. And I think that's something to keep in mind because they're just waiting on good or bad news. And to me, I don't know how much further these guys can fall if we get poor news. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm not sure because they're already like this is they're not being drafted best case scenario right now.
Yeah.
If we got good news, if we saw Breece Hall isn't practicing in OTA, so that's like not great. But we see if we get Breece Hall good news, Breece Hall is practicing. He looks good. He'll be ready for week 1. He is firmly in that mid-second round. Firmly.
Right. Yeah. Saquon light with the pass catching role of Aaron Jones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's kind of what that role feels like.
He would have been a smash last year. Like that injury sucked so freaking hard.
Yeah, Neumy, do you have another name there that could potential? Oh, I'm on the clock here.
Like move up is what you're asking, or move down?
Yeah, move up. Like just the some value that we potentially would want to grab now. Fuck Amari Cooper, man. This guy, man.
Yeah, he's always sitting at the top of my queue.
Always just sitting there.
Staring at me.
And he's so good at football. Like he's such a good route runner. He's going to age like Jarvis Landry, where like a couple years from now, we're still clicking on him in like the 7th and 8th round. And you're going to be like, remember when Amari Cooper was 21? Oh yeah, he's still 21. All right, I'm going to do Mike Will here.
He's a Cooper's a technician. No, go ahead, Neumy.
I don't know if I have anyone up the top of my mind. Like I'm scrolling through it. Like I guess the one that goes to my eyes is where Dalvin Cook lands. I think I think he's being undervalued. It's just my thing, and just my take. At 70, I think he moves up into the Mixon range. Like, I think Dalvin Cook's a better running back than Joe Mixon, and maybe that's biased not watching Dalvin play, but
I think that's objective.
Maybe the spot and landing spot won't be ideal because it could do if Mixon stays where he is. But like that's if 10 spots. I don't know how big of a that matters, but I don't know. Depending on where he goes, and I don't know the perfect landing spot off the top of my head, but
there was a little bit.
It seems like someone that could easily jump up, and all of a sudden you're not getting him in at the pick 70 anymore.
There was a little bit of smoke. Pat and Pete were talking about it this morning. There's a little bit of smoke that he could wind up in Miami, and I think the market would think that was a good thing, and it would actually be a bad thing.
Like
just
a four-headed backfield.
Yeah,
obviously they wouldn't have.
Like
they wouldn't keep all of them. I would assume that someone would fall out of favor. But man,
yeah. I don't think it'll come to fruition anyways.
No.
But then they were also talking about Pat was talking about green zone carries and green zone efficiency, and him being the least efficient green zone rusher in all of football last year, and behind Zeke Elliott. So
that's interesting.
I don't know. Maybe teams think he's bad now. It'll be interesting to see. So,
I mean, surely our line wasn't terrible and causing him to basically.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, surely it was.
Yeah, exactly. I had a couple other names. When Zeke signs somewhere else, if Zeke signs somewhere else,
Neumy, you are on the clock.
Yep, I know.
Okay, just making sure.
I think Pollard could be one to get like a bump like that. We've been taking him. I'm not sure how much further he could go, but like 3 or 4 picks seems conceivable. I think Madison, P. Ryan, if we get the inverse of the Javonte Williams news, if we get bad news in that regard, I think P. Ryan will jump a bunch of spots. And then Mixon and Kamara are kind of like the two, just to reiterate what you were saying there, Neumy, with the Mixon stuff. There's some good answers here in the chat. This DeAndre Hopkins one, this is kind of what I said on the ETR stream, was he has multiple paths to paying off value and or ADP just by if he gets moved or if Kyler comes back. So I kind of agree with that one. Where's the other one here? Damian Harris seems like a pretty smart one. If he can grab hold of that backfield and that lead workload by his lonesome, seems good.
I love Damian Harris.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think he's a great just pick in general. I don't know exactly. If we get news that he's like the guy and you know, like it's just like similar to like the Stevenson type of like hype, you know, that we got last year where he rose like 40 spots. I think that's what it would take for him to like get a rise that is not injury related to like James Cook. So we'll see. I think, you know, with the Dalvin Cook stuff, is it like that he's going to be cut and then signed, or is it all sorts of possibilities that he could be like traded for like a 4th or a 5th too?
No, I think they're going to cut him after the June 1st date, basically, because then they save, I think it was like $9 million or something like that if they just cut him. So they're just waiting to cut him. And I know like this is hand on the thing, but hand on the Twitter account profile picture, but they changed their header from Dalvin Cook to Alexander Madison, just kind of plopped them in there. So that's kind of like
that's pretty funny.
Yeah,
it's hilarious, right?
Swapped out Cook and put in Madison. But
so I'm going to throw my hat in the ring for a dark horse. Sorry.
And that could easily. I was just saying the Dalvin Cook one. Yeah, I think that's very ambiguous. Like he could go up and down. I think I could easily see him going down 20 spots, spending a landing point spot. So maybe that isn't as great because I think it needs to be a pristine spot for him to basically to move up. So
if he falls, I'm into it. I think a spot that like and this is dark horse galaxy brain, but you know, Best Ball Viper in here talking about the Bills and Damian Harris and whatnot. Could they sign a 3rd running back? And because like
they did.
Well,
Latavius Murray.
It's Latavius Murray, right?
Yeah.
It's Latavius Murray. I don't know. I could see Dalvin Cook going to the Bills. Maybe it's just me.
James Cook brothers.
James, yeah, right. The Cook brothers. Dude, James Cook did not move me in the slightest watching him play. He just looked just so meh to me. Didn't show a lot of explosiveness. Didn't have like, it is a crowded backfield. Chip bringing up the fact they have 9 Hines too, so maybe not. But Cook's landing spot, I think, will only be perceived negatively, just because there's not a lot of like open real estate in these backfields in the NFL.
And he's old. He's old for a running back. You know what I mean? Like he's hit the age that
right.
they plateau where
the
statistically, and so
it's going to be biased against his age. But I'm with you, Neumy. Like I think that he is still a good football player. I think he still has gas in the tank.
Yeah, I mean, just at a 70 round pick, we're looking at basically a back end 6th, 7th. If I can stomach it there, and if he falls even more in the right spot, basically, and that's the thing. If he falls, it's probably because he's not going to the best where the market thinks is the best spot. But I don't know. It's an interesting conversation with all of these running backs. I know Chip's out there saying, what
I
he put out there, like Adrian Peterson and Todd Gurley are available too. It's like, okay, Chip. Well, we're not talking about the dustiest of dusters running backs out here. Like,
but these free agents running backs seem sort of trappy. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see where they land.
No, I agree. I definitely like some of them, but it's just I still think for me he has stuff in the tank.
This is interesting. Cook to the Browns, Paul saying. That's a conceivable one because they haven't done anything other than
just takes over the Kareem Hunt role.
Yeah, right? I think Kareem Hunt going back would make more sense than Cook though. But maybe they're just done with that.
Yeah.
Dalvin to Dallas. That's interesting.
That there's definitely some.
Well, I mean, about 5 yards.
I'm good on yards per carry as like like I get it. Like that's an efficient yards per carry, but to me, like just looking at yards per carry and saying a guy was good or bad, it's not a stat that I like to use. So I'm sorry, GDE in the comments, like that is that's a good yards per carry, but there's a lot of like silly yards per carry numbers out there if you look hard enough.
Yeah.
All right, I hate the Kadarius Toney decision. To me is like it's the grossest decision in all of best ball. Like, do you want to fade him and potentially have him blow up in your face, or like he just has the ultimate like shitty profile, and it feels like such a bad click. But
it reminds me.
I have Mahomes, so
reminds me so much of the Mecole Hardman year 2 years ago, where it was like, hey, look, there's nobody else in town. Like before they signed Juju last year, it's like, there's nobody else in town. Like, look, he's going to take his 3rd year or 2nd year, whatever it was at the time, rookie jump. And he's with Mahomes. And then the stacking got crazy. I think it was BBM 2, maybe BBM 1 or BBM 2. And it was like, all of a sudden it was him and Brandon Ayuk were the decision point on the 3-4 turn every time. And it was like, oh my God. Mecole Hardman, this is a little rich, but
that Mecole Hardman ADP, like that made me throw up whenever he was like going so high. But like, what's the difference
happening right here? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like they're the same guy. They're both injury prone. Like, neither have a very extensive route tree. But the thing is like, Mahomes is still going to get it done. He is absolutely, like, in the truest sense of the word, like generational as a player. Like, remove Tyreek Hill and then he throws for a career high in yards and wins the Super Bowl. Like, I just don't, I just like don't overthink it, I guess. But also like maybe don't take any of his weapons either.
Yep. I like that. I'm looking at a couple things here. Maybe I'll wait till I pick, but let's see how this shows up on screen. It's really tough to read, huh?
Yeah, I don't know what this is.
Okay.
I think I'm looking at Underdog and DK, and then there's the delta between their ADPs. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes,
nice.
sir. Wow. This guy just goes naked Deshaun Watson right in my face.
Well,
I guess he's got Green Bay stack. So is that week
time
17?
for you to go robust, baby. Look at these running
No, they
backs.
play
for
the
you.
Jets. It's
No,
only
yeah, they
Aaron
don't. They
Rodgers
play
could be
the
likable
Jets. Yeah, what
QB.
the
yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Korean mnemonics. Those are extremely helpful.
Oh, it's great. It's great. I haven't learned the it was so fast to
fuck?
to
We're
learn
taking
that.
Swift. Ew, I didn't really want that to happen.
I love how it's
God.
your two squads facing off in week 17. Steelers Seahawks.
That's right. Steelers Seahawks. Gosh, that bums me out, man, because I think the Steelers defense is going to be good this year. They made a lot of acquisitions in free agency. With this new GM Omar Khan, has been way more active in the offseason than the GM we had in the past. I forget his name, and I'm a horrible Steelers fan for not remembering. I think it's Coleman or something. But anyways, I love Seattle. I think Seattle is in one of those teams that are really easy to like pair in best ball right now, and I really like just like getting correlation as far as like betting on a single team's offense. I wish they didn't play the Steelers week 17. Like, why couldn't they play like the Lions again or any other NFC team? Like, God.
Yeah, the Vikings playing the Packers again, but this time it being in the actual Coors Field of the NFL in US Bank. Sorry, we're changing it. It's not. I think the Vikings defense is going to be worse than the Lions, and they're
this year. So, you're absolutely right for this year.
I think this year it is US Bank. When teams go into US Bank, just get ready to just see that ball slinging around the field, and then the Vikings playing catch up.
There's a new Ford Field in town. And it's in Minnesota. They got to rename the whole stadium.
Did we just take Daniel?
Yeah, you and I both got sniped on quarterbacks, dude.
What the at 89, brother? Because you have Saquon. Fucking Christ!
That's why you just take Pat Mahomes, guys. So I had an interesting.
Just lock it up.
I went chasing Mahomes, and I had an interesting decision. I could have went with the double of Higgins with Chase and Mahomes, but I went with Metcalf instead. Bad or good or bad?
Bad.
I disagree. I think Higgins is a trap.
I think it's trappier if you have Jamar already, right? Because there's going to be a lot of teams that are Chase, Higgins plus Burrow. So, like, is it nice to get a little bit different and have the Mahomes of that game environment and, like, he outscores him kind of deal through multiple avenues? So you get all the points of the Higgins and Chase getting home, but then you have a higher quarterback score because, you know, Mahomes outscores him by 2 points or whatever. And that's the differentiator to get away from, like, it's like reinventing the chalk build, right? Like going back to our daily principles where... Yes. You know, you could double stack the wide receivers from a certain game environment, but then just run a naked Justin Fields and be like, Justin Fields outscores the pocket passer. So, like, the thesis is there for that. I do feel that if you're building a team that isn't going to be like Onslaught Cincinnati, I do feel like, yeah, you're right. It probably is pretty trappy to take both because, like, T. Higgins is a little bit of contingent value on Jamar as well. So yeah, I see it from both angles, and you can, you know, sell me this pen either which way.
Yeah, I just think like Metcalf will outscore him over the season, and Metcalf will almost always in a battle royale be drafted above T. Higgins.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe for week 17 he won't because it's Steelers versus Chiefs, and that could look kind of silly in hindsight if I get to the finals. But but
there's no chance of that happening.
Lens.
So.
Because I'm getting there.
Man, I had a nice little start going there with Taylor Sanders, Adams, Amari, Mike Will, and Kyle Pitts. And then I think I absolutely just fucked the dog on that Swift and Pickens picks.
Sorry, screwed the pooch, you meant to say. He got his wires crossed.
Yeah.
Am
I not allowed to say that?
Long dong, and you're out here fucking the dog. I'm like, what is happening on the BadgeBros channel?
You can say whatever you want, John. It's from the opinions of my co-host do not reflect mine.
The difference is I intended to say it, Neumy.
That's true. That's fair.
Oh man. This is setting up to be. I think I might do it.
I did something crazy. Shocker.
Did you?
I did.
I had going off crazy best ball teams. I, for one, not shocked.
I have Ken Walker, and I took Charbonnet.
Well, I like that. I think that's fine. How many running backs did you take total?
2. Just those 2. No.
All right, we're gonna set up a little.
I like Lazard.
Little week 17 here with the other side.
That was a nice recovery there because you have with Cooper you really saved this team for sure with that.
Yeah, the other thing I was thinking through was I already spent some pretty good capital on Kyle Pitts there, but I was thinking if I take Freiermuth, shut it down at tight end, and then I have Pickens and Freiermuth, and then I can add on Kenny Pickett later.
Oh yeah,
but
absolutely. They get Seattle.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means for like the passing game in general. Right now, I think Pittsburgh's like offense is low key underrated given like the pieces that they have, just like from a raw talent standpoint. But so much of it is hinging upon Kenny Pickett, and I have no idea if Kenny Pickett's good or not.
No, I don't either. I like the only thing that I've said is that I thought he improved as the season went along, and I start off the season like calling for Matt Canada's head, and then like slowly like becoming a little more understanding of like what he was trying to do, and seeing the offense become more palatable. But I think I got fooled by Mac Jones. I thought he showed good things rookie season, and then sophomore season he got benched for Bailey Zappi. It's entirely possible that Pickett just does not take a step forward, but the Steelers ADPs are extremely palatable. So that's like the biggest thing is like in context, they're pretty good picks.
Yeah, I like that shout for sure.
Dude, Brian Robinson, come on down. 13 picks past ADP. Did you guys know Brian Robinson is the worst player to ever tote the rock? Did you know that? Brian Robinson sucks, guys. I don't know if you know this, but Brian Robinson is just awful, which is like really funny to hear. I like the way everybody that streams like talks about like using numbers and stats, but when it comes to Brian Robinson, like we get to use our eyes and make decisions about his skill set.
Don't forget. It's like we're gonna throw out the fact he got shot earlier. Like literally got shot in the leg. Did not happen. That has no effect on potentially his ability to perform.
And I still thought he looked like a bulldog out there. Dude.
I know. I agree with. No, I agree. I'm in full agreement here with you.
If I got shot in the leg, I would take more time off from streaming with you guys than Brian Robinson took off from playing football.
You would not take it. You would not take a night off the ice though.
Oh goodness, no, he's nails out there. You kidding me? When the championship's on the line, John's going out there. He's putting up three. And we're just talking this. The Hattie's coming in here.
I'm not gonna lie, a little OT winner last night. I'm kind of tired right now.
John's got more hardware than Brooks Koepka's future trophy case being filled up. If you guys saw that, like John's got a wall of these trophies. Just this is another one added to here. Don't worry.
They're all fucking meaningless. If I had it,
Hey, they're not meaningless. You're out there putting your heart on the line, blood, sweat, and tears.
Neumy, I'm not sure. Act like you know me, man. I don't think I've ever put my heart on the line for anything. Nothing matters, dude.
If there's one thing that matters, it's your puck leagues at night. We can rest assured. If there is one thing that does matter, it is puck.
Come on, John. Feel something, would you?
Don't make me.
Oh my gosh, Paul's comment, John. Don't cancel me, but if I got shot in the leg, the new picture this.
No more mind's eye. No more picturing anything.
Oh man.
Picture this. Week 17.
You're on the clock there, bud.
Yeah, this is what I'm picturing this.
Okay.
Come on down, ladies and gentlemen.
No way. A John drafting Kyler Murray? Oh, you're gonna be the first streamer to take Adam Thielen.
I'm taking Adam Thielen.
Nobody's ever
And,
drafted Adam Thielen on stream.
I got Miles Sanders on this team. I think I can push it one more round and get a little stack.
Oh, he's scrolling.
Yeah, I am scrolling. I think I'm going to take Dalton Schultz. I do not have a lot of Dalton Schultz, and I actually think Dalton Schultz is like a pretty good football player. And if that offense is improved and he can win in that seam route a little bit, I don't know.
I don't hate it, man. Not a lot of target competition there.
Yeah.
With the 102 quarterback on his team.
Yeah. Right?
I've been kind of thinking about a little bit the quarterback landscape of ADP and drafts, and we rarely like it used to be like such a bad thing to like take a third quarterback, and because of like the quarterbacks that are left, and you know, maybe we should take a skill position instead, but like it's been maybe for the first time like in best ball that we've been playing on Underdog that we have like two like really highly touted like rookie quarterbacks in like Bryce Young and CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
You know, like these late round.
Well, we kind of had it last year with like Trey Lance and stuff like that, right?
We did, but Trey Lance was going in like the 80s.
Yeah.
Richardson,
Anthony Richardson style.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Richardson. I'm sorry, was the third quarterback I'm thinking of, but like that is a really affordable price for like very skilled rookie quarterbacks. And is it such a bad idea to take one in the third as your third QB? You know, like is it really like that much of a sin? I'm not convinced.
Well, I mean, I think I can make the case like the exact same way from 2 draft classes ago where the Trevor Lawrence price tag was as a 101 was stomachable. Trey Lance, who wasn't the 101, gets pushed up to like the 80s. Exactly what Lawrence, we're doing with.
But like they weren't going as late as like these guys are. I don't think Lawrence was. Lawrence was like the most hyped quarterback since Andrew Luck.
Yeah, but like Lawrence and Andrew Luck, you make me say Andrew.
Sorry.
Lawrence and Justin Fields that year were kind of like QB 15, 16. So they weren't like down here in like the QB 20, 21, 22, 23, whatever. So you're right about that in terms of like closing line value that you could get on the rookie quarterbacks when we see a little bit in preseason, whatever. But I think where you're wrong is that we haven't seen this in a while because I think we saw it 2 years ago.
I don't know that we ever saw the number 2 pick in the NFL draft be available at pick 190 in a team where he is without question starting football games for them. Without question, he is starting football games. To me, like I just, you know, I'm really trying to put the roster construction stuff. There's one, and it blew up in our fucking face, right? But there was questions like, is he going to start? It wasn't a complete like lock that, and you know, to me, I'm just trying to put the roster construction numbers and stuff in context, you know, and like the landscapes are different, and I'm just not certain that 3 QBs and 3 tight end builds, however you want to mix up running back and wideouts, are like these like awful builds that we are like so certain that they are. I don't know. I don't want to die on this hill because like the numbers don't back this up. But for me, like I just think context is so important, and I don't know. It's something that I'm kind of like grappling with right now.
Yeah, no, I think there's something there. I don't know how we rework it to be like actionable and like thought about.
I think I need to do a deeper dive on the ADP from last year, like maybe like closing ADP last year, closing ADP and BBM2, and then like really like get a feel for the landscape as opposed to like just based off vibes.
No, man, we're a vibe show. Who are we kidding? Let Leone, Karain, Herzig, let those guys do all the work, do the leg work, do the nice charts, do whatever, and then we'll just sauce the shit out of it.
Yeah.
We'll just come in here and just we agree with some of that and not some of that and whatever.
I'm gonna try to figure out. I'm doing it on the fly.
Okay, I respect it. Interesting spot in the draft for ya boy. I think I'm done with tight end. I think I'm going to go ahead and now that we set that up, I'm going to go ahead and reach on the corners in quotations and do the Bryce Young thing. Do you think it's too thin a quarterback room to go Rodgers and Young? Oh, they both have the same buy. So good planning by me, of course. That
to go Rodgers and I like it.
I'm going to take a third one, I think. I mean, it's going to be rare because we talked about the bye week rarity stuff. This is an interesting decision. I'm going to take Jaylen Warren for a reason. I think I could have taken Donovan Peoples-Jones there and set up a double run back off of my week 17 Jets and gone like, it's Aaron Rodgers and Lazard is what you need. And maybe Tyler Conklin later, probably not in this build. And then double run back in Cooper and Donovan Peoples-Jones and kind of do the cheap version of what you were talking about, Nez, with the Bengals stuff, where it's like you have the two wide receivers, but then you have the other quarterback. I think that might be a little path to contrarian, but I think now that both quarterbacks have the same bye week, I do think I should probably mix a third, because taking a 0 at quarterback is different than taking a 0 at tight end in one isolated week, in my opinion. So taking a little backdoor Pittsburgh stack here with Jaylen Warren, George Pickens, and then hoping Kenny Pickett comes back.
Mm-hmm. I found a board from BBM2.
Okay.
Wildness. So like Trey Lance was
Here,
going
add it for me and I'll bring it up.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. Give me 2 seconds. Because I'm about to be on the clock. And...
Dude, my team's been dead for a long time, Chip. It's like literally every other team I draft on this show. Everything is, if it's not for the bit, it's for a laugh, it's for whatever. Like it's definitely not for making money.
Okay. I'm about to be on the clock here. So
you do your pick there.
Yeah,
Ben
I'm on the
is
turn.
in the chat.
So.
Okay. You guys do your picks here, and then we'll bring up the old board, and you can finish your.
It's wild, dude. It's BBM2, so like you kind of have to think like 3 drafts ago. But I don't think Trey Lance was healthy rookie season. He just didn't play, right? It was just all Jimmy. Is that what took place? Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, he came off the COVID year where he didn't play the year before, or played half a season the year before. Then it was like, this guy's a development project, but he'll compete for the starting job. And then they ran with Jimmy. And then Jimmy got hurt. And then he played like week 5 or week 6, something like that. And it was like, this is the Trey Lance we wanted, because he had 15 carries or something like that. And the offense looked completely different. It was like everything was zone read. Everything was, anyways.
That was toward the end of the season, right? Was it not?
No, it was like in the middle of the season for an injury. And then they're like, look,
okay,
and then we drafted all the resurrections, and I fucking doubled down. I was like, I saw that. I saw Jimmy's timeline, and I was like, Trey Lance is my guy. Like, you're giving me a quarterback with 15 rushing attempts. Let's do this in the zone read scheme. And then all of a sudden, the timeline moved up for Jimmy, and then Jimmy came back and was the starting quarterback from like week 8 onward until either he got hurt again, or they just used Trey Lance in like those gimmicky, like brought him in packages,
That's
Taysom
right.
Hill style.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oops. All right. Donovan Peoples-Jones it is. That's fine. That's good value. 15 picks past ADP. All right. Let's go ahead and throw this board up.
Sure.
Boom.
Oops. I was helping and I hindered.
Okay. Here's me. Good old Alvin Kamara, number 2 off the board. Remember this? Remember when CMC, Kamara, and Dalvin Cook were the first 3 picks in BBM2? Holy shit. And then here's Here's a little Stephon Diggs, big time winner. Najee Harris, rookie season. And then down here is where we get Trey Lance with all the hype in the world going in round 11 and playing like 3 games in round 11.
Yeah, he went way higher than that too by the time this closed.
Yeah, I don't know what date this team was.
Because he made it to like round 9 or something like that.
I thought this team was so good. I put an emoji by it. I thought this team finished 11th in this pod.
Emoji by it.
I put 30 fire emojis across it.
I put a single eye. I was like, oh yeah, this team.
Put an eggplant emoji.
I'm trying to find the winners team. There's UW. I must be looking at a different one, but yeah. So my point being, like this QB was just like steamed, did nothing. And then in that same class was Mac Jones down here, who like wasn't bad for that ADP. Zach Wilson just did not ever do anything, obviously. I don't even know if he played that much in his rookie season.
I'm on the clock over here.
Looking up the 2021 game log. No, he played for the first half, didn't play in the middle because he got hurt, and then they put him back in. Yeah. All right. But to me, like, I don't know. I just see situations that are different than these quarterbacks that go late. But maybe so this guy won my pod with the Kelsey. This is the JT like nuts year. So this was actually close to the end of drafting, by the way, because he took James Robinson in the 3rd round.
Okay. Is that when? Okay.
And then yeah, this guy won the pod. Okay. So interesting.
Oh,
okay, hit me. Just scroll down for 1 second for me.
Oh, you want to check out this board still?
Oh yeah, you just doxed my queue now. I actually made a queue for once.
What do you want to see?
The quarterbacks. I want to see exactly what you see. So Tua was 2nd year. Tua there. 1st year.
I believe
Trevor
so.
Lawrence. 1st year Trevor Lawrence went ahead of 2nd year Tua in 12. Yeah, because I remember the round 12 being like that sweet spot for Fields versus Lawrence. And I had so many teams where I just double tapped them both.
Yeah, and I think this was the Fitzpatrick season too. That when they put in Ryan Fitzpatrick
for Tua.
Yeah, after like week 1.
Yeah. Well, he's on Washington there.
Oh, okay, maybe not then.
So
God, it feels like a decade ago trying to analyze these. Like this looks like it's insane how quickly the NFL landscape just completely just flips.
Nez, you're on the clock in 1 pick. Neumy just picked.
Thank you.
Chuba. All right. Yeah, it is crazy to look back on those.
Yeah, it's like mind-boggling.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we'll reach on JP.
You gotta hurt.
I'm gonna die on that hill,
doors, baby. Yeah, I like it too. I know. You know how I feel.
I know you got my back on that, but I'm dying on that hill.
Professional wide receivers. Why is nobody drafting Jarvis Landry? Damn it.
Could he still sign? Could he wind up somewhere? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure he could. Again,
dude, how about a little reunion in Baltimore with his boy OBJ? Comes in on a vet minimum.
Oh,
just runs another routes.
Yeah, because the reunion in Cleveland was swell.
Yeah, they had that one good game, didn't they? Oh man.
Yeah, it's fun to look at these old boards. I really like doing the old like revisionist stuff.
Carlos comes in here, just pops by and sees that Daddy 319 took Philip Lindsay in the 13th round, but it was that old board. That's so good.
Oh my God, that is hilarious.
To come in here and be like, what is happening in this draft board?
Who's taking Philip Lindsay? Who I thought Philip Lindsay was the truth, man. Ugh. He was so fun to watch.
GA, are you being facetious here, or did Pete leak the news? we're gonna be doing one tomorrow night on the After Dark. Your boy's gonna drink some beers and
you got the
make
call
fun
up.
of Pete. Yeah, we
John
tried to set
clears the
something up a
schedule at
couple-
nighttime when the big boys call. But if we need to do anything, don't. Sorry, boys, I'm busy from these times to these times.
Yeah,
That's great though.
more or less. No, it worked out. We were gonna set something up 2 weekends in a row before there. We were gonna try and do something on the opening night of BBM and didn't come to fruition there. And yeah. Anyways.
Oh yeah, he leaked it today.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Nice.
What is the beer of choice up there for you? Like, is there
Sapporo.
anything? So what is it?
Sapporo. I love Sapporo.
But that's Sapporo.
The Japanese beer.
It's Japanese beer. I love that beer.
Spell it.
I don't know. Sapporo. Sapporo or maybe double R. But that's like, it's not like a Canadian beer or anything. It's just a beer that I really like in recent memory. Maybe McCool Hardman double stack here just kind of fell into my lap with Aaron Rodgers. It's interesting to set up some of these, week 17 like minis and stuff like that, and then not have bringbacks. I think I like Tim Patrick more in a vacuum, but I'm gonna go ahead and do this one. And then my Q got doxed, but is he still there? Take Ingram here as
I think you're safe on Keontae.
Yeah.
I don't think you have anything to worry about there.
I think in the same vein, I prefer Kareem Hunt and taking the bet on Kareem Hunt there. But I like this little Birds week 17 where I took both the running back, or not both of because of Penny, obviously, but I took Swift and Gainwell, which was something we talked a little bit with Herzig about, like kind of like the running back stacking with different profiles, something that Leone's done some nice research on with the ETR stuff where, they play, these two might play the same role though. That might be a flaw in my process here. Maybe it's better to put Gainwell with Penny than it is to put with Swift. Anyways, just thinking through something like that of if that week 17 Birds game runs through a Arizona team that only has 3 wins and they've shut Connor down for a bit, and and the Eagles backfield is the backfield you need.
Yeah, it's the contingency running backs. Just like when's the last time like a contingency running back like smashed? Am I completely like blanking on someone? Because I feel like it just like in recent memory, it just like really just like hasn't come to fruition.
Tony Pollard last year.
Okay.
Like, yeah, he didn't smash in like he was the first overall pick, but he smashed in the fact that the weeks in which Zeke was not there, he was an RB1 contention. So he smashed in terms of spike weeks and standalone value.
And I get Pollard and like Harris, I guess.
Harris or Ramondre on the inverse.
Yeah. Or I meant that's what I meant. I apologize.
Yeah.
I meant Ramondre. But I guess like what I'm like more at like asking is like these late round guys. Like they almost like just like never hit. It seems like. And yet we've got 3 slates, but
right. No, I know what you mean. Where it's like we chalk up so much to contingency value and then we just haven't seen it come to fruition in recent memory.
Yeah.
Can we go back to, do you have that old board? I thought that was really fun. I want to do that again.
Yeah.
Maybe we
share.
Let's sauce these teams first and then share. Let's do the same thing as we did yesterday where we posted our teams and made the internet vote on them.
Yeah,
I actually haven't looked.
Crushed us in that vote.
Is he? Oh,
I did.
Yeah. They loved your team.
Oh,
okay.
Well, that's not good then. Probably that's not a good thing because I liked your team, Nez. I thought yours was like
it's too risky for the people.
The more I looked at it, if for anyone if you haven't voted or saw that tweet, go check out our BadgeBros, the BadgeBros on Twitter and vote on that. because I voted Nez. Like I literally voted for Nez when I saw that.
I appreciate the support.
Dude, I enjoyed it. I really had my gears turning. But yeah.
Yeah, so did I.
Onto the Poodles.
Yeah, let's Ben's been asking us to sauce his team. He is in the sixth hole here. Yeah, started with that elite tight end anchor and then robust. Both closing line value guys in my estimation right now in terms of Chubb and Breece Hall. Both really good for this scoring format, and I think I like them both above ADP as of right now. So I like the start, and then this mini stack, we've talked about it over and over again, how if you can get that Mike Will plus the Herbert, or you can get, it's the best cheap elite stack right now. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. Feel similar. Addison, Marquise Brown, David Montgomery, Sutton, man. Sutton's fallen out of favor. Do you think Sutton's better if he stays in Denver or if he leaves?
No,
that's
idea,
a good question. That's a good question. And I will say better because it's another year with the same quarterback and week 17 matchup with the Chargers. For my money, it's better, but
yeah,
it just feels bad regardless.
Tyler Boyd bring back off of the Kelsey thing. I think he's setting up the double bring back with Mims and Sutton there, but I'm not so sure Sutton will be on the team, but principle still holds. Jacoby kind of undervalued. Alec Pierce, people have a lot of nice things to say about him. I don't know a ton about Jaden Reed. I've kind of just been out to this point, but people smarter than me like him, so that's probably a good thing. Foreman, Taekwon, Mayer to fill out that, and then Tannehill, man. Tannehill's sneaky. If you go with these one quarterback builds and then just punt quarterback to the last round, is there a better flyer right now than Tanny?
Tannehill feels like he's going to start somewhere. It's just a matter of where.
Yeah,
Atlanta.
Feel.
Of course.
Yeah, like we keep pushing that Atlanta narrative, but like
will it into existence.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. Even like maybe he doesn't represent the same ceiling as like Purdy or Shroud or someone like that. But it just feels like if we got news about Tanny, he moves to like the 14th round. Like, what's the difference between Derek Carr and Ryan Tannehill? Maybe that's not fair. Maybe Carr's better than that. What's the difference in Jimmy Garoppolo and Tannehill?
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, not much.
Just depends on what the news is.
Right. Like if Tannehill was in Vegas and Jimmy Garoppolo was in Tennessee, Tannehill's going where? Like
probably right where Jimmy.
Round? Right? Like
they flip.
Just kind of like
Yeah, I can see that.
All in all, it looks like pretty solid. Like some smart week 17 stuff.
I like it.
For a 10 wideout team, that's cool.
10 wideout, 5 running back?
4
running back.
Yeah, just
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Cool. 2, 4,
like
10,
it.
2. Yeah, that's a fun one. You guys want to save the doxing of our own teams for the Twitter poll and just read them real quick?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. You get I mean, tell me how much you like your team, obviously. But
sure. My team, I'm like agnostic on. I don't know if I did a good or bad job. If I can get the chat to just like give me some compliments, maybe I'll feel better.
Pat on the back.
2682. This is what the winners are doing. With the Patrick Mahomes, CJ Stroud QB room, running back room looks like Kenneth Walker, Isaiah Pacheco with the stack with Mahomes, Zach Charbonnet, Brian Robinson doesn't suck, was shot. Khalil Herbert is good, and Devin Singletary with the CJ Stroud stack. And then a wide receiver room, we've got Jamar Chase, DK Metcalf, a couple grown-ass men, Kadarius Toney, a little shifty boy, Rashad Bateman, Jalen Hyatt, KJ Osborne, Neumy2's boy, DPJ, and professional wideout Joshua Palmer with the tight end room of TJ Hawkinson and Hunter Henry. I actually like this team a lot.
I like it.
It's not bad.
I like it. I like the elite. I like getting elite QB, elite tight end, in my opinion. Jamar Chase, and then a bunch of hopefully non-zeros at running back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a bunch of the other one there that you had kind of like this Seattle onslaught without the quarterback with both running backs is kind of interesting too.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm
into it,
talking
man.
about that improved Steelers D that's about to get just
I know
trampled on week 17.
Well, they're just going to help get me there. I just need them to help get me to the finals.
There you go. All
right, newbie.
Oh yeah. So we did a 3-6-7-2. Okay. I don't know. Just kind of, I got a lot of things that we're trying to build just weren't attainable. Got sniped. Yada. So with Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford, and Derek Carr fell nearly 20. Was it 20 picks? So I was like,
the whitest QB room ever? Or
yeah,
the
and the reasoning why I went with 3 is my thought is like these dudes offered nothing.
No, I like
rushing
this.
Clearly. So like when I get statues, I'm more apt to kind of go my brain like let me 3 to get that to help with basically to help with not having any rushing floor. So then I went
Anchor Dalvin. Anchor Dalvin.
But the thing is, I didn't really. I added 6 on there, so which I thought was I was debating the 7, but with Dalvin and Javonte, and then Damian Harris, the mix of RBs. I'm hoping that if Javante's not there to start, maybe Dalvin, anything to start, that I have some set in stone. Maybe Damian Harris, Chuba's kind of there. And obviously, but yeah, I went with Dalvin Cook, Javonte, Damian Harris, Roshan Johnson, Chuba, and Jerome Ford. Everyone's darling, as he has seemed to just be pushing up draft boards since the start. And then wide receiver, it's just a lot of stack fest for me.
Holy shit!
Cooper Kupp, Chris Olave, everyone's favorite overvalued play in T. Higgins, but whatever. If I'm going to get a number 2 wide receiver, might as well be.
Dude, this wide receiver is disgusting.
And then Drake London, DeAndre Hopkins, who fell a good amount there. And then I love adding Jameson Williams to a room in which you don't need Jameson Williams to be available for the first 6. And then got to get my week 17 when it's Richie James and T. Higgins, baby. But then tight end, I went with Darren Waller, who's supposed to be the Daniel Jones stack. So as you can see, I kind of went different. Daniel Jones was going to be a 2 quarterback room with the rushing floor, had to pivot. And then one of my favorite plays right now in the entire tournament, Taysom Hill.
Are you drinking my Kool-Aid?
I think I'm drinking it, John, because I love Taysom Hill. Next
thing you're going to be doing is drafted Brady doubles out here.
I already have, baby. I already have. They say he's
Brady
out,
doubles?
but I'm like, I don't care. I'll get the swap. No.
I believe it when I see it.
This.
I've done 2 Baker doubles. 2 Baker doubles.
I like it.
So yeah,
that's a Baker's double, bud. That was a layup, boys.
That was good.
Newbie, how do you like it? Do you like it?
I liked it. I liked the way it turned out. I'm a fan of all those quarterbacks. I'm going to have way too much Matthew Stafford. I think he's very undervalued. I totally get that. But my thesis is real quick. Terrible defense. Everyone's based. I mean, not terrible, just bogged down, not as great as it was. Playing in a dome with the coach, the same scheme. If he's back and healthy, yes, you don't. I mean, I just think that he can still put up, if not the 330 season, 3 with that, he can still put up adequate numbers that he's still undervalued to me.
It's weird in that division too, with the uncertainty of San Francisco at quarterback. The fact that I think the Seahawks overperformed last year. Can they ride Geno? Right. The Kyler situation in Arizona being like Arizona might be a 4-win team. Now all of a sudden you look at the Rams and you go, okay, you get the injury back from Kupp and Stafford. Can this team do something? Because they're in win now mode. Like between all of their money allocation and all of their good players being like Stafford, Kupp, Aaron Donald, they're all like a bit like longer in the tooth by NFL standards. So they're kind of like a team that's in Super Bowl hangover, but still in win now mode, but's not that good. But at least we think they're going to try to be good, right? Or like, I don't know.
That's a really good, that's a really good, just like synopsis of that whole situation. Like, I think that's perfect. And it's just, I mean, we saw what it was. They had the Super Bowl hangover. Like he got, was it a UCL with his arm or no? Was it something?
Yeah, I think it was like damn near Tommy John. I don't think it was as bad as full UCL, but it was something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm in love with Cooper Kupp. I think he should be going above Tyreek in every single draft. So I'm going to have I'm going to have to,
I think so too.
I'm gonna have to take a little bit of Tyreek just because I don't want to have zero. But yeah, I'm back on board this Rams kind of this train, especially at the easy stackability of Matthew Stafford's. But yeah, go ahead, John.
This one says tendon issue in his throwing elbow, known as thrower's elbow. So it doesn't sound like TJ, but he rehabbed with Kershaw. So, his elbows.
Wait, did you know that they're childhood friends? Did you know that?
Did anyone know? Anyone know that he played basketball in college? Yeah.
Hello.
He went to Harvard. I did a 3, 6, 7, 2 as well, which is very odd that we both ended up with.
Yeah, that's wild.
Awkward ass constructions like that. Mine was because I fucked up bye weeks like an idiot. So Aaron Rodgers, Bryce Young, Kenny Pickett started with a little week 7 correlation with Jonathan Taylor and Devontae Adams. Then the rest of my running back room, I'm not really sure how I feel. Miles Sanders, DeAndre Swift, Jalen Warren, Kenneth Gainwell, and Ingram. And then we got, for a team with not very good running backs, we don't really have that good of wide receivers either. So this is interesting. Devontae Adams, Amari Cooper, Mike Williams, George Pickens, Alan Lazard, Adam Thielen, McCole Hardman, Kyle Pitts. There's the saving grace.
There he goes.
He's going to be a wide receiver coach for the Vikings week 14, bro.
Oh, man. This is at least we stacked them. At least we stacked some of these players.
There you go.
That's what we
There you
say.
go.
At least we did. Yeah, I like this. Yeah, everyone's saying they like your team there. They like the team. Yeah, Ben wants to be in the vote. We can't let you in, Ben. You'd win. Oh my gosh.
You can be the fan vote. You can be the fan vote. People will vote you in for that fan vote. But hey, before we go, before John, I just want to say I have a little bit of things. So Neumy After Dark is returning. And is returning for the good.
We're so
back. And not only is it returning, it may be returning on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays if you can. It's kind of correlation there, because your boy is gonna go in. We're gonna shift now to golf, and I know I keep talking about that. If you know nothing, you don't care to know nothing, come hang with your boy. I'm gonna be going over right now just my process, what I think about round 1, and then we'll get into everything, and we'll see how that feeling out process goes. But along with those streams, I'm going to be sending out tweets. Basically, I already sent one out today. My favorite late round targets. We're going to give conviction plays, kind of fades, guys I want. You're just going to be able to see the process that I kind of go about it. I want these to continue to grow, and there's no content for it. So no better time and no better group, I should say, even though I'm doing it, I'll be doing it solo than us. So I'm going to take advantage of that. And yeah, it's going to be real fun. So after dark streams to come, I will set that stream. The tweet will come out. Think around maybe 4, 5, 6. I'm thinking with nothing to draft, I might wait till a little bit after MLB. And then nothing. The only thing to draft will be PGA, basically, besides some best ball drafts. So
you are like the underdog Robin Hood. You take everybody's money, you win all the money in golf, but then you give it back in the day. Let me tell you how. Let me tell you how I beat all you suckers. In
Let me tell you how I took all your money last weekend.
With that, I'm going to be trying to give out daily ranks of how I'll be using. Like, they're not going to be like, ask Nez. I give them ranks. And I'm using them,
baby.
And I'm like Nez always says, he wants to get into a little bit of writing. I might try and give out a little article or two, whether it just be a little paragraph. So yeah, just come hang, join. You don't like golf, whatever, vibe with me, give me shit, do the chip, or you just troll in the comments. It's the best time. So we'll be feeding the ducks. We'll be lo-fiing it up.
Bad. We are really rounding into form. We got a baseball guy. We got a PGA guy. And we got a guy. We got Hoops Guy. We got a Hoops
We got
Guy.
we got Hoops Guy, and then you're out here just being producers. So yeah, waking up at the butt crack of dawn your time, having to just I literally this is John before stream. Like, I think I'm just gonna lead off the top and just a little bit of this. He's yawning, just dead. It's like we know you'd rather be sleeping, but
oh man, today was one of the ones, but that's a good one. Fun one to jump in those Poodles 2 streets. Just a favor, hit that like, the subscribe on the way out the door. If you're not subscribed to that Unhinged channel, the link is in the show notes below. Neumy's going to be hanging out there a shit ton, talking golf, talking PGA. Love to see it. Appreciate that shout. Any parting words, gentlemen?
Like, subscribe. Do it all here. Do it all in the BadgeBros Underdark. Notify. You'll be able to see exactly when I go live if you're not already doing it with the tweets. Otherwise, yeah, everyone have a happy hump day.
There you go. Yeah. No, we could have done without that part. I mean,
oh my God.
We're starting with the part
because that's the farthest we've got at the show.
We're starting with a long dawn and we're ending with a hump. Let's go. We're out of here. All right. On behalf of the pros. I'll be on After Dark with Pete tomorrow, but this breakfast show has turned into After Dark as well. So on behalf of Neumy, Nez, myself, we are the BadgeBros, everybody's favorite time of the show. The end. Peace.